Hello, K3. What's happening? Melissa here. Happy spring. Around here, people love to get a free cup of Rita's water ice to celebrate. Did you get yours? We did! We're only 1 week away from our free community egg hunt that's happening this Saturday, March 27th from 10 a.m. to noon right at Christ Church of the Valley. Have you told any friends? And maybe someone who's never been to CCV before. How cool to invite them to your church for the first time with something as fun as an egg hunt. You and your parents can find out more information at ccvlive.com. Today, we're jumping back into our series Bake Off, where we're talking more about the word patience. Patience is waiting until later for what you want now. And patience takes practice, which I've been doing a lot of lately by waiting for our egg hunt or warm spring days now that they're officially here. Practicing patience reminds me of our March Bible verse. It's from Psalm 27:14 and says this: wait for the Lord. Be strong and don't lose hope. Wait for the Lord. Actually, Harrison, Brinley, and Adeline have been patiently waiting to share their video of this verse. Take it away, K3 friends.
Wait for the Lord. Be strong and don't lose hope. Wait for the Lord.
Great job, guys! Before we jump into worship and our lesson taught by Orange Kids, let's play a game. This game's an Easter theme since we're prepping for our community egg hunt. It's called Did They Peep It? Have you ever had a peep? You know, that like sugary candy that's different colored and different shapes and horrible for your teeth? No, really, they are. Your job is to guess whether they actually created a peep flavor for what's listed on the screen. You're not gonna believe some of these flavors. Here we go. Most of those flavors don't seem too bad. I'm glad they didn't create a bacon peep. I'm not quite sure if I'd have the guts to give that a try. It would be really weird if you put that on an egg sandwich too. Anyway, I wouldn't try waiting a long time for that one. In today's story, we'll hear what can happen when we don't wait and what it could cost us. Sometimes it's a whole lot. Let's jump into it. Count down with me. 3, 2, 1.
Inspired by the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verses 24 through 34.
When Abraham's son Isaac grew up, he married a girl named Rebecca. But it didn't seem as though they'd be able to have children.
Please, God, give us children.
But God answered Isaac's prayers, and Rebecca became pregnant with twins.
Isaac, I'm pretty sure they're having a wrestling match in here.
Oh, definitely boys.
Rebecca asked God about the struggle she could feel. He told her,
2 nations are in your body. One nation will be stronger than the other. The older son will serve the younger one.
When it was time for the babies to be born, they came out fighting. Esau was born first. He came out with a strong set of lungs and a head full of red hair. His brother Jacob was born moments later, still holding on to Esau's heel.
How on earth did he manage that?
The brothers shared the same birthday, but as they grew, that was about the only thing they had in common. Esau loved to roam far out into the wilderness.
I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more.
Jacob preferred the comforts of home.
The sun is so hot. I'll just take a little nap in the tent.
Esau loved to hunt wild animals.
That is one excellent wildebeest.
Jacob preferred a different type of hunting.
Not you, not you. Ha! The perfect ripe honeydew melon.
One fine morning, Esau headed out into the wilds in search of adventure and some nice, juicy venison.
I'll feast tonight.
But Esau went all morning without spotting a single rabbit.
Ugh, should have packed a lunch.
In the afternoon, he tracked a deer for hours, but he missed his chance as the deer sprang away.
Ah!
At last, Esau headed for home, defeated. He was tired and irritated and so hungry he could eat an entire woolly mammoth.
Must eat food.
As Esau neared camp, a delicious smell wafted out to greet him.
Food!
Jacob had been home all day, resting and plucking his favorite herbs from his garden.
A little coriander, some dill.
As evening approached, Jacob used his savory herbs to whip up a tasty red lentil stew and a batch of fresh, buttery bread.
This will crisp up nicely on the hot stones.
By the time Esau had arrived in camp, Jacob's stew was simmered to perfection, and the bread was hot and crusty.
Food! Food!
Esau lunged for the stew cauldron, ready to grab a bowl, but Jacob blocked his path.
Not so fast.
Step aside, I'm hungry.
Clearly.
Just let me have some of that red stew.
Certainly.
Esau tried to dive for the stew pot again.
Just one itty-bitty thing.
What?
Well, first, give me the rights that belong to you as the oldest son.
Esau spent more time listening to his stomach than his brain. So in that moment, his stomach won out.
Look, I'm dying of hunger. If I die, those rights are pointless anyway. Now give me that stew.
Esau sprang forward once more.
Promise to give me your rights.
Fine.
Fine what?
Fine, I promise.
Promise what?
I promise to give you my rights as the oldest.
Cool. Help yourself.
Jacob stepped aside as Esau hurled himself at the stew pot.
Stew!
Esau happily gorged himself on rich stew and fresh bread. But as his stomach filled up, he had time to stop and think again. Esau had just traded the rights of a lifetime for a meal that would only last him a few hours.
When you lose patience, you make choices you normally wouldn't make, and it ends up costing you. Losing patience ends up costing Esau his birthright. His brother Jacob ended up being in the family line of Jesus. So who knows what else Esau missed out on for being impatient? When we don't learn to have patience, we get frustrated easier with ourselves, with each other, and there's really nothing good that can come from being impatient. So think about that when you're waiting for your turn on a video game, or when you're waiting to say something when someone else might be talking. Having patience is better than losing it. Tell yourself to slow down. You could try breathing in and out slowly when you're tempted to be patient. Here's the one thing to remember today. If you don't wait, it could cost you. Let me say that again. If you don't wait, it could cost you. If you need help waiting, ask someone you trust to come alongside of you. Maybe they could even remind you to take a few deep breaths to slow down. So this week, don't let impatience cost you, and choose instead to slow down. But don't slow down quite yet, because it's time for some worship. Do you have a favorite song yet? Stand on up, K3. Let's have some fun. And don't forget, our free community egg hunt is happening this Saturday at Christ Church of the Valley from 10 to 12. We can't wait to see you there.
Over everything, you were seated in our praise. facing, I've got my face set on who I'm praising. There is a victory I'm anticipating. The walls are breaking, we'll take the promised land, and I will turn this place into a place of praise. And as I do, I know He'll bring about the change. Oh, this is an offering, this is a sacrifice. We give you everything. I give you everything. Building an altar to your name. Whoa, right here, right now. This is where praise breaks out. Whoa, right here, right now. This is where the walls come down. Let's go.